Hey everyone. I want to talk to you for a minute about a couple of psychrometric properties that cause a lot of confusion in our industry. Whether people are brand new to the industry and brand new to psychrometry, or they've been in the industry for many, many years performing psychrometric measurements, these two things seem to still cause a little bit of confusion. And these two things are relative humidity and humidity ratio. I know, two humidities. Gets a little confusing. First, let's talk about relative humidity. Relative humidity is the amount of moisture contained in a sample of air compared to how much moisture that air could hold at a given temperature. Now, if you increase the temperature of the air can hold a lot more moisture. And if you decrease the temperature of the air, it can't hold as much moisture. So relative humidity is really relative to the temperature. Relative humidity is always measured as a percentage. What percent full is the air compared to how much the air could potentially hold at that given temperature? So if you could imagine, this cup is a pound of air. We are 50% full compared to how much we could potentially hold at this temperature. Now, if we increase the temperature, the air can hold more moisture. If we keep the exact same amount of moisture and just increase the temperature, we can see that the percent full goes down significantly. Now we're down to 25%. 25% relative humidity. We're 25% full compared to how much we could potentially hold at this given temperature. The other humidity we need to discuss is humidity ratio. Humidity ratio many times is called by the way in which we measure it. Grains of moisture per pound of dry air, more commonly said as GPP, or sometimes simply called grains. Humidity ratio is the actual amount of moisture in the air, and it is an expression of the weight of the moisture in the air. So the size of my container would be like our temperature. How much moisture can the air hold? The percent full would be our relative humidity, but the actual moisture in the air, just like the actual moisture in my cup, would be our humidity ratio. That would be our grains, or our GPP, the specific amount of moisture in the air. Humidity ratio, in my opinion, is the end-all, be-all of humidity. That's the really, really important one. But many times we're going to use our thermal hygrometers to get our temperature and relative humidity in order to calculate our humidity ratio, mostly referred to as grains per pound, or GPP. If you'd like to know how to do that, come hang out with me in one of my WRT classes, and we'll go through all of the psychrometry that we need to do our job successfully.